so this is perfect.
So she just gives you a haircut whenever you need it?
No. Yeah, she actually says she tries to give them to me more often than I ask for them. She's like, hey, I could, like, trim your beard. I'm like, no, it's good. And she's like, what's terrible?
Oh, you know what that sound means? Here on Slop City Podcast, that means we are beginning.
Let's do this. Do we have to clap?
Well, before he starts recording, we always have to tell a secret to each other.
While it's recording?
No, it's not recording. God damn it, Randy.
Okay, so as long as it's not recording, I'll tell a secret.
Okay.
When I was a little boy,
Uh-huh.
I was actually so little that my parents would lose me.
Oh, that is adorable.
Yeah, my dad had a laser and he shot it at me and shrunk me down. So I was as tiny as a little ant.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that, Randy?
Yeah.
I did not.
Hey, as long as that wasn't recorded, please don't,
Well, we're going to start right now. You ready?
I'm ready.
Is there, before we start recording, is there anything you don't want me to talk about?
I don't want you to talk about my 4 balls.
Okay. Anything else?
I would like if you didn't talk about my inverted nipples that are actually so inverted that they come out of my back.
Oh, okay. I won't talk about that.
Then we should be pretty golden.
Okay. Now we're going to start. We are beginning. And welcome to the podcast. Please say your name and your age.
Hi, my name is Bobby Jaycox, and my age is 5'8".
That's not an age.
Yeah, you're right. It's just my height. I'm more I'm more fond of telling that than my age. I actually am 30 years old.
Are you?
I just turned 30. Turned the big 30.
It's so nice having a boyfriend that is younger than me.
It is so nice having a girlfriend who is so sexy.
Oh, I put my tits out for you a little bit today.
Yeah. When I walked in, I was like, I've watched episodes of the podcast and you've never worn anything more than a t-shirt. And I came in and you were like, hey, Bobby.
Hey, and I was naked on the table.
Oh, I dropped my little tiny clothes.
I dropped my panties.
Oh, can you pick them up with your teeth? And I did, but I did it really nicely and still very masculine.
And very sexily.
I growled a little bit. And you're like, is that your growl? And I was like, it's more like a soft lawnmower in the distance.
And then he noticed that there was some residue on my underwear. Quickly dropped them.
What a discharge, babe.
Then the dog came over and started pawing him like he wanted to bury him.
Are we live?
Are we live?
Are we on?
Now, if you don't know, people in the audience, Bobby is here because Tina went on vacation.
She did.
She doesn't care about the podcast at all. She went with her partner, Rafe, to a secluded island, I'm guessing.
They went to a very, very small island. It barely fits them and their 2 dogs, and they are staying there. It's a secret island, so I won't tell you where it's at. We stayed for about a night, and then before I left, she goes, I don't care about the podcast. You can take over. That was the last thing she said.
Forever?
She didn't say that. She literally said that, pushed us out on our boat away from the island with no oars or anything. So,
how did you guys get back to the other side of the island?
well, we were still on a boat. We just had to wait for the tides to pull us in.
So glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be here, Libby. You look great. I love you. Thank you for letting me take Tina's place.
Cool. Don't say I look great, though.
You look great. Every time I see you, I tell you how great you look.
You do.
Look great. You are beautiful.
I still am missing some teeth, though. Is that okay?
You always say that every time I see you, and we know your tooth's missing. And
but
it's still.
I should have had my teeth by now. That's the thing. I will never get my teeth back in.
What do you mean you will never get your teeth back?
I had a dry socket.
Yes.
I had pain.
Okay.
So they thought maybe I needed what's it called? Root canal. Went to the root canal guy. He's like, no, you don't need a root canal. You need to go to the oral surgeon because that hole should be closed by now.
Oh my God. So now you're out of options?
I have to go to an oral surgeon next.
Oh.
So I'm on a month of no teeth.
Okay. You said I heard on the episode the other day though that you said you're liking it. You said you're like, I kind of getting used to it.
I kind of am until the temporary crowns that they put on, 1, 2, 3, started turning the darkest color yellow.
Okay. Why is this happening? Why is it?
Because it's me.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this, but I am a Christian.
I do believe that you are a believer.
And I'm not the best Christian, so I'm being punished by our Lord for not being a good Christian.
Why is he punishing your mouth?
Because he knows that he knows I take pride in my teeth.
Okay. And he doesn't like pride. Does he not like pride?
Well, he tried to make me ashamed by making me fat. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, Jesus. I'm all about living my own body, you know? He's like, oh, yeah, watch this. And he zapped my teeth. And that's where he got me.
I want to see a picture of that picture where Jesus is touching like Adam's finger for the first time, but it's just him touching her teeth and knocking them out one at a time. Just one tooth.
And
right?
they just fly out.
They just fly out. Hey, I tried a lot of things, but I'll make you lose your smile if I have to.
I mean, he thought he was going to get me with making me fat, but then he thought by giving
But that's just hot now. Now it's just good. Now it's just
Right?
sexy. Being big. It used to just be like having a big butt, and now it's like, be big. Be like, I mean, for real.
Be big.
Be big. I had a sex dream the other day about a friend of ours that is bigger, and I told my girlfriend about it, and she was like, oh, interesting. I was like, yeah, I like big girls. Even when I was like younger,
like,
I was like
right?
the first guy who was like, I was like, oh yeah, she's cute. She's like, yeah, she's a little bit bigger. I'm like, people say more cushion for the pushing, and that's rude. More
And
love. I just like more love. More love is better.
More cushion is not necessarily true, though, because some areas could have a hard, lumpy feel and
Yeah.
not necessarily a soft.
More lumpy for the bumpy. That's that's what they say.
Or more lumpy for the humpy.
Yes. More lumpy for the humpy.
For the hump, you know, when you're doing
I never
you're-
hump because it's one. If as soon as I hump, I'm done.
you're
I
a one hump guy.
I'm a slow slide in. Let you do your business carefully. Get out of town.
Well,
When I say out of town, I just mean out of town. I just mean pull right on out of there.
would you look over at the screen and see the pictures that he's pulled up?
Oh man, what are those? Is that what Jesus does to people like Libby?
He bukkakied on them.
Oh.
He 100% bukkakied on them.
The Jesus bukkake. He just gets his disciples in a circle and he's like, hey, you guys want to see something crazy? You guys thought it was crazy when I made a bunch of fish, huh? Oh, man. Yeah, Libby, that's not what's happening to you at all. But yeah, there's the picture. That's the one. Yeah. Some of those, yeah, the finger, and then we'll just get, yeah, there we go, right there. That one right
And
there.
he's
just Libby's face, and then he just pokes her teeth out.
And I'm like, Jesus! Jesus!
Jesus Christ, my teeth hurt.
So basically what I'm saying is I need to be a better Christian.
Okay. Well, what about just being a better is it any of the like hygienist stuff? Like do you I'm bad about brushing my teeth, and sometimes I will start to smell like my grandfather's breath would smell. Do you know what I mean? Like that you're just like you eat stuff at night, you wake up, then that like first burp, you're like, "Oh, that tasted like food and stank." And that's not okay. You
Right.
have to. My girlfriend has me so on brushing my teeth at night cuz I don't want to. As soon as I brush my teeth and go to bed, I feel like I'm 50 years old. I'm like, let's put on our PJs and our cap too. Like I just fall asleep like a sloppy man.
Because you can't have anything else.
Well, I don't like the regiment. But you need, though, like the older you get, you have to take care of certain things like this because otherwise, that one's on the side. Jesus was if Jesus is giving you a warning, he's on one side. You want him to poke your front tooth out?
What happened is he came at me with that finger, and I gave him the old turn the head to the side real quick. He was trying to get the
He
front.
was trying for a kiss, and like it's like whenever you're like, ooh, fake out, like.
And he got the side.
Oh, that's funny.
The
And you made him miss. He didn't like that.
The problem was not anything that I did. It was a crown that I had put on last year
Oh, okay.
that they didn't glue it right or something, and it was getting bacteria inside of it and rotting.
And that's not malpractice or anything? Like that's not if
Well,
they
I mean,
put it
how
on
do you
wrong?
tell them that you're in
With
there?
an email and a phone
And they're
call?
going to say, no, it's your fault for
Libby,
not
don't
brushing.
make me take care of this for you. They're not going to say that. They're going to realize, hey, we put it on wrong. You also should have brushed three times or a day or whatever that the FDA said. I don't know who tells you how much to brush.
Never again. I got a water pick. I've been water picking this shit.
Is that like what the doctors use? Or
It's
like at the dentist? Like the
Squirts water between your teeth.
Oh, where did you get one of those?
Well, I have a subscription to Target, and I go to Target.
They have those at Target?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get me one of those. I'm gonna get a mouth squirter for sure. Squirt right in my mouth.
It's one of the handheld ones. You can get the one where you put it on the table and it holds a lot of water. I got the handheld one and I just squirt the shit out of my teeth.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the dentist.
Now, if you have a sensitive tooth,
okay,
don't do it. Use warm water.
And just
it'll hurt
it in your mouth and just gargle.
Squirt.
Okay. I've only had my wisdom teeth taken out, and that didn't.
Were you asleep?
I was asleep.
Thank God, because it's inhumane to get a tooth pulled.
Yeah, I would think so. It's inhumane to like take out all of your wisdom teeth, I think, because after they took them out, I don't feel any better or anything like that. So I don't know why you have the surgery.
It's a racket, is what they call it.
It's a huge racket. Yeah.
Did you do it when you were like 18?
Yeah, I didn't do it when it was like cool to have like a video of me like losing my like cool. I actually, what happened was they put me under and I woke up and I like walked out into the lobby, and at the time my dad was like sitting in a chair waiting just for me to get done. I walk up to him, I'm like, Dad, and I have like blood coming out of my mouth. I'm like, Dad, I want to make people laugh. And he was like, what? And this is like, I'd been doing comedy for just like a couple years. And he's like, okay, well, yeah, let's get on out of here. I go, you don't get it, Dad. I'm funny. I want to do jokes on stage. And he's like, you got to be quiet. So I don't have like a cute video of me being like, my mouth feels funny. I'm like, I'm funny. He's like, dude, you're 23 and you're freaking out in a lobby right now. So that was what happened when my wisdom teeth got pulled, is I was like, I'm supposed to be on Conan, Dad. He's like, I don't watch that stuff. I don't care.
Wow.
Get in the car. Yeah.
I love that's what you thought of.
That's literally what I thought when I woke up. I would have like this thing of being like, yeah, like just like a funny video. But my dad was like, no, you just kept telling me that you want to be on TV. And I was like, and that's not a lie. And
that's such a heartwarming story, though,
well,
for real.
Yeah, he kept telling, he was pretty much, even in like that state, he was like, all right, well, let's talk about this later.
Maybe we could send you to a camp where you can learn.
I paid for you to get these out, so let's maybe start with getting you a job. And then we'll get you onto the television.
I love it.
Yeah. Also, I want to say this is since Tina couldn't be here, this is a present I got for her years ago. It says I Heart Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
With a nice little, is it an Amish community?
I don't know, but that is a horse and buggy. So I would think so.
Not many people use a horse and buggy these days, except for the Amish.
Is it illegal? Can you ride a horse and buggy? I see like the...
Who's going to tell an Amish person what to do? Not me.
That's true. You see an Amish person walk in, you're like, hey, let's all like kind of laugh, but let's not laugh. And then let's stare, but let's not stare. Like everyone says don't stare, but you see an Amish person, you're kind of like, why do they have cool shoes, but everything else like, and then there's different levels of being Amish. I find it super interesting, and it's one thing that I don't ask about because you're like, I don't want to, am I going to get in trouble? You're like, hey, what about the Amish? Like, don't you talk about our horse and buggies.
I don't think any Amish people listen to this, so it's fine.
But there aren't some, are there any Amish people that listen to this? Maybe there are some that can listen to podcasts, but they have to churn their own butter.
Or they have to churn the radio to make the podcast. They're just churning it slowly. I love a good Amish hat, bonnet, if you will.
Ooh.
On the gals.
Are these, what are you pulling up here? Are these, is this, what is it? Because Mennonite is one, isn't it? Isn't there different kinds of the Amish?
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't know.
No one wants to be disrespectful, but we're like, how do you live like that? You guys just like, you'll just see a wall on the ground and then they just pull it up with ropes.
And then they have a barn built.
Yeah, they're like, hey, who built those pyramids? Maybe it was the Amish. Maybe it was the Amish with ropes. Yeah, I mean,
as far as I know, Amish people don't hurt anybody, so that's good. Lots of religions, they like hurting people.
Yeah, I like the idea of like just being like being simple, and the fact that we respect them. Like they get their own like areas to be like Amish in a group, because it's hard. You couldn't like just be Amish in downtown St. Louis.
I guess you could be it anywhere you want to be.
Well, yeah, but where are you gonna live? Where's your homestead? Could you imagine someone just next to the arch, just like pulling up a wall and starting to build a house? If they were Amish, no one would stop them. It's like federal property, but if they were just all building the land, the guy would be like, well, you go stop them. I'm not going to stop them. You go tell them to stop.
And they're just standing there looking at you because they know you're not going to stop them.
Yeah.
They're fucking badass.
Yeah. Honestly, they are, because they don't do anything we do. They don't have phones. They don't have chips.
They don't eat chips.
Well, they have like chips you make at home, but have you ever had chips at like someone's family's house?
No.
It's potatoes. It's not. They don't
It's
get to the
just-
process. Just skinny potatoes.
And they're too thick. They'll never be thin enough.
Yeah, and they're wet. They're not good. These taste like chips. Oh, sure they do.
Did you put lard on them?
Yeah.
Because I don't want them unless they have lard.
I churn that lard. Churn it. How have you been, Libby? I haven't seen you in a while. The last time I saw you, you were gushing over our boy,
Brian
Regan.
Oh, God. You're so lucky you got to open for him.
I am lucky. I turned 30 and I was like, well, this is all downhill from here. Got to open up for Regan. Had the best weekend that you could possibly ask for. We all hung out one night. That was really, really fun. Like just like a couple comics got to like hang out with Regan, and you were like, I'm so nervous to meet him. And by the end of the night, you guys are all just like chatting.
Just chatting it up.
All night.
Just chatting it up.
Just all night with your boy. I really love when Libby gets nervous because I have a cousin who his favorite comedian is Libby. And we were at a show and I didn't know this. And he turns around and you weren't even performing. I think you would just like stop by the club and he goes, do you know who that is? And I turn around and go, yeah, that's Libby. And he goes, no, that girl right there. I go, yeah, that's Libby. He goes, no. But he only knew your online characters. So I kept saying Libby, and he's like, you're an idiot. He's like, that's Carla. And he knew you as Carla, and you are his favorite comedian. And every time he says it, he goes, that's my favorite comedian. I mean, I like you too. Sorry, you're like a really good comedian, but she's my favorite comedian. Yeah,
I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
He gushes over you. He loves you. He brings it up every time.
I'm
going
to
to
gush over him.
He would lose his mind if you gushed all over him.
Whoa!
Oh, I can't even breathe down here, lady.
That's too much gushing.
Dude, the same thing happened to me the first time one of my daughters came out to Helium and Livy was on a gig, and my daughter was like, dude, holy shit, you know Carla. I'm like, what, Livy?
Yeah.
She's like, no, stupid, that's Carla, man.
Stupid.
Excuse me, bitch. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't that a contest or something?
I think, or an open mic, I
Open
don't
mic
know.
or something.
Yeah. It's so and it's one of those things where they see you, and they also, because you're literally like, if I was a child and I saw Chris Farley, I'd be like, Tommy boy, like that's what I would say to him. You know what I mean? I was a kid. I go, you didn't even know his name. You just see someone and you're like, I know them for that. Do you get that a lot? Do you have like people just coming up to you and just being like, I absolutely love what you do? Do you get recognized?
Sometimes, not a lot.
Really? I've seen it happen multiple times just being around you. That's interesting. I've seen it happen. It's pretty remarkable because people don't even just like, I've seen people like comics, but they love you. Like it's a different thing because people are like, you're funny, but when they see you, they're like, oh my God, because you're in gifts. You're how they communicate with their friends. You're this new level of like celebrity where when they see you, they feel like a part of your life because they're like, here's her being funny. And then you'll throw up a video where like, I don't have a tooth anymore. And people are like, I don't have teeth anymore. Like it's this whole relatability thing that you're like on the it's like this Renaissance thing happening right now.
Renaissance.
It's new. It's like it's all new. It's all comedy's never. It's like it's like this new building block of comedy.
He's Googling me.
Look her up. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I was just agreeing. Because I looked up and go down. Look, I went down and I saw that. Look at that woman right next to her. That's not Carla. So I go, yeah, look her up because that's not. Is that Ellen? Who is that?
Carla Higgins music.
Oh.
Huh.
Can we listen to some Carla Higgins music? No, let's not do that.
Yeah, it's weird.
There you are.
It's weird if people recognize me.
Yeah. I would imagine it has to be because then they want you to say they don't want you to just be Libby probably. Do they ask you to say stuff? Like,
No.
they don't. See, that's also the new.
They'll lots of times tell me like their favorite video or something, which makes me so happy.
What's your favorite video of yourself?
Oh God.
Come on.
I think my favorite is the one where I went over to Illinois where there's that old spaceship. It was like a home, like a UFO that was a home.
Yeah.
And then I'm standing outside of it saying how the aliens were going to abduct me. But then I got naked and the aliens got scared and left and like cleared out. Because I had to have a story because the UFO had nothing in it.
Yeah.
It was stripped down. So I'm like, they stripped down everything. They took the computers and everything and got the hell out of here. Because it was just so stupid.
Yeah.
And it was one of the ones where I kept breaking and I had to do it on Snapchat because I couldn't do it all the way through because I kept laughing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm so stupid.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's all because I've known you and Tina for a long time. I knew Tina before pretty much anybody almost in the scene. And Tina said she did a show where someone came up to meet you, and I don't remember how far they drove, but they literally cried when they met you, and that's crazy to me. And when I say crazy, I mean that in the way it's like you don't even write sad songs. That's not what you do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's like, you bring this emotion out of you. You bring so much joy that it brings out this other emotion from them. And I find that beautiful anytime I see that happen to you. Like, I see you come into rooms and people don't see you. And this is a little bit of backstory, but like Libby is like, I'm nervous. No one's going to like me ever again right before I do this. Does everyone not like me? And I'm like, then someone comes up and like, you're my favorite. And she's like, hey, thanks. Oh, God, I feel bad again. I'm like, I understand that it's in your brain, but people love you. People enjoy your company. Like I've said this. The only thing I've said when you weren't around that was something that would be considered, I guess, behind your back is I'm like, I wish, and I say this about you, Rafe, and Tina. You guys are all my favorite people. And when you don't know how it feels when you're not in a room and there's something missing. And when you come into the room, it like just brings out this like real beauty and how you're laughing with people and how people are different around you and you don't know because that's how they act around you. Like they're different because you're intense. You're intensely funny and honest. Like I don't know there's not a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm kissing the pussy. And then they're like, I'm kind of scared that I went to the gym and like that video, you'll start like crying in videos and stuff. And like, that's what we need. People need that honesty. People need to see the good and the bad. And you put it out there more than most people. And I think that's great. You know what I mean? Like, I just love you. I wanted to express how much I love you because I know you don't feel that all the time.
I'm trying, the whole time you were talking about me, I was trying to check out. My brain was like, get away. You don't want to hear good things. Stop.
Yeah.
But I stayed there.
Yes.
And instead of arguing with you like I would have in the past, I'd just say thank you.
You are welcome.
And I love you too.
And I love you so much. Yeah. Libby's the only person too where she'll be hard on herself while it's just us two. Like you're like when we came back remember when we came back from that Cleveland show, we auditioned for Just for Laughs. And Libby goes, hey, Bobby, I don't want to sit in your front seat. I kind of feel weird. I'll sit in the back. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Thinking you're doing a bit. And then we get in and you sit in the back seat. And I'm like, Libby, they're going to think that I'm transporting you. They're going to think like, hey, can I pull you over? Why is this woman in your back seat?
I love sitting in the back seat.
You do? Yeah, I love it.
There's more room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that way I can keep an eye on anything that might be in the back seat that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Well, I love you. I just want you to know, everyone loves you. We don't have to just talk about how great you are.
Yeah.
I think you and Tina, everyone loves you guys. Like we've all been like in the scene long enough, and I think Slop City, this is the most excited I've been to do something in forever. Like we had a lot of technical difficulties before we started because I messed up a couple things.
You didn't mess up nothing.
I appreciate it. But we got here on the way. I'm like listening to Blinding Lights. I'm like, blinded by the lights, trying to get in the zone. And then we get here and we're all like, what's SD card? It says it's not initializing. But like usually get like, I'll have like a little bit of nerves before a show. But I was like, I felt honored to be on here. I feel good because you and Tina,
man.
For real, you and Tina, like you guys bring out this like fun and creativity that most stand-up comics don't have. Most stand-up comics are not fun. We've been in green rooms and they go on stage and like, ha ha, ha ha, and then they get backstage and they just like look at their phones and they're sad. And you guys are always doing bits. It's always a fun time to be around you guys. I love you. I'm just gonna suck your pussy off a little bit more.
Quit sucking my clit so much. Well, God, I'm trying to think of the first times I met you. It was probably at an open mic.
It had to have been.
But you were already doing it for a long time before I even started.
Right. I definitely was like going to open mics and stuff for a while. But I do remember, just like starting to be around you mostly at the Improv shop.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. And I remember like me and you meeting. And somehow when we started, do you remember I don't remember where this bit started, but there has only been like a handful of times that I've seen you that I haven't been like, hey, what's up, Libby? And you're like, hey, Bobby. I'm like, you mind if I get down on that pussy real quick? And you're like, hey, get down on this pussy real quick. And we do that bit so often that I called you one time and we were on the phone and my girlfriend, and we just started dating. She was in the car and I got off and I thought we met you before and I thought we had done this bit. And I go, wow, that's probably the only time I talked about not going down on Libby. And my girlfriend goes, excuse me? And I was like, oh, no. There's like this bit we do. And I had to like explain it. And she's seen it now plenty of times. But yeah, I love it. Not a lot of comics like to do bits. A lot of comics like to take comedy real seriously. And I think you should, but I also think you should be doing silly pussy bits.
Well, I'm just gonna be honest. I love getting my pussy ate by you. I just love it.
I like to eat. I love that pussy. I like to oat. I love that pussy.
Did you notice how Randy interrupted the podcast with a sound over there?
No, I thought that was a fart.
He was on his phone, and when he should have been working.
Well, I looked over and it was only a video of me, so I accepted it. He was like, "This guy's really funny." He starts looking up my Instagram. You guys have me on. He's like, "Who is this guy?" No, I've known Randy for a while too. We've all known each other for a good amount of times.
Well, you and Randy bonded when you got here over his guitars.
Oh, he's got so many guitars.
And also, apparently, it's really cool when you use it so much that the paint wears off.
Yeah, that's, yeah. You know, like whenever, yeah.
I would think it would be cool if it was real shiny.
Well, that means it's an expensive guitar. But if you see it all worn down, that means that you've played it a lot. His was worn down on the back, and he's like, yeah, it's like my belt buckle did it. But then he said he moved his belt buckle, and it looks still really worn down. So it must be just,
and
he
it's
must
in
be
the
hard
shape
as
of an
hell
actual
playing.
ding dong with ball.
Yeah. Yeah, show the back of your guitar. It literally is just a dick.
Why don't you put your dick over the top of it? That way it's not rubbing.
Not long enough.
Wow.
He uses it like a slide. He he plays it like a slide guitar. Slides it back and forth.
You think your dingus would develop a callus if you used it as a slide?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. And just using the bottom of it, the softest skin on your whole body. Oh, it's too dangerous.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Would you get your foreskin back if you could?
I actually have talked about that. I've actually thought I would like it because they say it makes it more sensitive. And every guy I say that to is like, more sensitive. And I'm like, yeah, imagine. Yeah, they're like, I already come too quick. I'm like, yeah, imagine coming quicker.
In and out.
And that better. Yeah, you're like, because you literally take like the sheath away. It's just like if you keep your knife without like the thing on it, it gets dull. Keep it in a sleeve. So
I'm all about fucking and getting back to video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. When I'm playing video games, it's the only time I'm not fucking. I don't play video. Do you play video games?
Oh, yeah. I'm a hardcore gamer. I play Animal Crossing.
Okay. What else?
And Zelda. Any Zelda game I'll
Okay,
play.
that's a real game. Yeah. What's Animal Crossing? I've asked so many people, and people are like, it's like Sims. And then they don't know, like, what else?
It's more, do you remember Farmville?
No, I don't play games. I don't.
Okay, so you are making a community.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just cute.
It's a cult? You make a
It's your own community. So you're
Where
playing with
are
robots.
these animals crossing?
They're crossing onto your island. You have animals that live with you on an island that you're creating.
Why was this game popular?
Because it's relaxing.
Okay.
And during quarantine, it gave me, since I wasn't working, I was working very hard on my island. So I was, building things, planting trees, planting flowers.
Okay.
Forming relationships with animals.
Okay. And she's like, I don't know why I get weird around people. But look at all these animals.
They're so cute. And you get different clothing. It's just...
Do you think Annie, your cat, gets upset when you're playing Animal Crossing? She's like, I'm a real... It'd be like if I had a virtual girlfriend. I'm like, you don't get it, babe. I'm making an island, and all these girlfriends come over here, and they're fake girlfriends, and your girlfriend's just sitting there. That's what you're doing. Like, you have a cat. You can play with Annie all the time.
Annie? Annie doesn't like to play all the time. Annie's kind of a loner.
Every video you see, I see your cat laying right on you. Am I wrong that you're...
Well, it could be Molly.
Okay, that might be
Molly will lay on me more. Annie's more like, I'll come up to you every once in a while when you kind of have like a fish odor to you and I want to lay on you.
Okay. So you play any Animal Crossing? Okay, I will not play that now. It's never been sold better on me. I want to try. I don't know any of these games. I want to try.
Well, you got to get a Switch. A Switch is so much fun.
Okay. I'm rocking a PlayStation.
Okay, so
Uno.
you're not a Nintendo guy.
No, I mean I'll play games, but I'm definitely I don't think I'm a Nintendo guy at all. I can play the Gold games. Okay, you're a Nintendo girl. Do you and Rafe get online and play? Do you guys play Animal Crossing together? Or
Tina and I did.
Oh, Tina plays?
Yes,
Okay.
and we did a live broadcast because in one of my rooms in my home, I built a stand-up room.
Stand-up comedy? Or just
Stand-up
a room where you're
comedy.
like, this feels good.
No,
Just stand-
stand-up comedy. Had chairs.
That's awesome.
And then we kind of did bits in there. You
Yeah.
know, it was fun.
That's really cool. I used to do stand-up shows in my apartment. You've been over there for some of those, haven't you? Some little
I
parties.
haven't been in your new apartment.
No, we haven't had any in the new apartment because we've only been there for COVID. But some of the old apartments, we would have shows inside. We got.
Well, I'm
Which
not
is
going
fun.
to anybody's house that lives above the ground level anymore.
Oh yeah,
Everybody I know
yeah. We all live up.
in this community lives
Yeah.
on the 87th floor, and it's all steps.
It's cheaper up there.
Well, you know what else is up there? My death.
You get up to the top, you're
I'm
just like, nobody pray for me, and you fall down. Yeah.
I fall down 87 flights of
Yes.
steps. I fell down every single step.
She's still falling.
Hook, help me!
Libby, just catch the thing.
I can't. My arms are broken.
Libby, you've stopped. Up, she started up again.
Yeah, I like nudge
She's-
myself to keep rolling.
That's so funny.
Are you on the ground floor now?
No, we were on the ground floor, and we just moved to a place. We live on the second floor, which I prefer, but there are some steps. I know. Our cat loves it, though, because he's never seen steps before in his life. So all of a sudden, he's like, what are... And he's just roaring up these steps. So he loves it. I don't live on the third floor anymore, which was my first apartment. I think you remember that one. And as long as I don't live anywhere past the second floor, I'm A-okay. Because if you drop a sock carrying laundry on the second floor, you don't have that sock anymore. Because you try to catch one sock, then you drop some undies, then a shirt, then you start cussing, and then you put everything back in it, and then you have to hold it too tight. You break the basket. I'm an angry fella. I punch stuff.
Why didn't you hook a rope to it and do like this up your window? Like in the old-timey cartoons.
You know, I should move back there and try. That's not a bad idea. Could you, if I was doing that, you could imagine people just being like, hey, was it harder to set that up than to just carry your fucking laundry up there, man? Just like, and then I'm waiting for a Roadrunner. Drop it.
I have considered my laundry's in the basement,
Yes.
and with my leg thing I got going on, it makes it hurt to walk up the steps. So I'm thinking about walking outside, down the basement door, and through, even though it's a much longer walk.
But that's good for you because it's better on your body, and it is a longer walk, which is good for you. That's good.
That's
really,
what
really
they
good.
say.
Yeah. We have our laundry in the living room now, and we don't use it more. I was like,
What?
we'll be doing laundry all the time, and you let clothes
Oh,
pile
God.
up.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
wearing this fancy outfit, because I work from home now, so I have no reason to wash clothing.
Oh, doesn't that feel good? It feels really good. But the worst is whenever, it's not that you're not like doing laundry, that's fine, but what's the longest you've worn underwear in quarantine? How many days?
Oh, I don't even wear them in quarantine. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? Well, the only reason I wear them is so
Why
I can wear my
waste 'em?
sleeping pants more often, because otherwise my butt's touching directly, and my butt gets nasty.
You got a stinky bottom?
I got a real stinky bottom.
Oh, no. You better wipe your bottom.
I always wipe. I do a really good job of wiping. I really wipe well, but I still have these farts where, like, at first it was like funny with my girlfriend where like we'd fart and we're like, yeah, we're both farting. This is funny. And then like I'll fart and she'll like, I can tell it shifting from like, that was cute to like, we're eating. And that is a stinky fart. So yeah, I'm starting to, I think I heard Rafe say this the other day on the podcast. And he says, when your like farts start to like smell like your dad's, it like, I laughed so hard because he's like, it's like smells like dreams fading away or whatever. And I'm like, it is kind of like, I'll just do it. I'm like, yeah, didn't get on TV before my 30s. Yeah, that smells like I've kind of given up on that dream. It just gets stinkier and stinkier.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It kind of gets juicy.
Yeah, I would say some of mine are getting drier. That's the real trouble. That's the real trouble. They're getting some of them will be dry, and none of them are whole. I haven't had like a turd in a long time. It's just pebble. It's just like it looks like a deer shit into my fucking. It looks like a chicken took a shit into my toilet.
Randy, I think this camera stopped.
And that's the one on me. So let's make sure we fix that.
For real?
Yeah.
It's all right. We're gonna keep rolling, right? We can just can we get an animator to just draw me? Just draw my side of the video.
I wonder if it's either out of battery or out of memory card.
Well, if for some reason we get a promo clip out of it. Just use for my clip. Just use that picture that Tina likes of me, the one where I'm going cross-eyed or backwards.
No, or we could use the promo that you made yesterday with your face on Tina's head, and we'll just turn off the sound and just put it there the whole time.
I love that video. That was fun to make. It's going. Thank you.
Well, I don't know what happened.
Thanks,
It
Randy.
said, "Hey, stop it."
I know what happened. Randy went up and he flipped me off, and then he hit the button. He turned it off. Hey, you're not Tina, and we don't like this.
Well, didn't mean to play that. I have a few questions that listeners.
You got some? Some
wrote
Bobo
in.
questions?
And
I want to first. The only question that matters. Can we sandwich this? I want to start and end with a Libby question.
okay.
Do you have a question for me? Because I feel like every time you're with me, you're like, "Hey, Bobby, how big is that ding dong?" And I tell you, it's not a ding dong. It's a large. It's a little bit bigger than most clitorises.
Really?
No, it's way bigger.
Did you know that I had my hood pierced?
I listened to that episode, and just like Tina, I was blown away.
Were you shook?
I was shook because Tina's boyfriend, partner, Rafe, and you both have a history that I can't equate you guys to. Like Rafe's like, yeah, I used to get fucked up. And I'm like, you're the most sober person I know. And you're like, yeah, I got my hood pierced in the park. I'm like, Libby, I can barely get you to sit in the front seat of my fucking car. And you're up popping the hood being like, pierce it, baby. I just met you. We're in Forest Park.
I was wild.
That is, yeah, Tower Grove Park. That's crazy. So it's not pierced.
No, not anymore.
It's not any pierced. Okay, but is there still a hole where is there just like a nipple piercing or whatever?
There's holes in my nipples, but I don't think there is in my
In your hood?
hood.
Your hood closed up?
I think so.
Did it make this sound? Like a car? Like, did you take it out by like moving that metal rod, holding it up? Your hood
Yeah, I
fell
had to
down?
set it up.
Yeah.
And if I ever want to get it again, I got to pull the thing in the
I
inside of
left
the car.
that light in there. Let me pull that out. That's really funny. Yeah, that's crazy that you have that pierce. When I played football in high school, there was a kid who got what's the Prince Albert
Prince
piercing,
Albert.
where in high school, and he did it right before football season, which is the dumbest. It's already dumb to do that, but it couldn't get any dumber. But this kid was the biggest kid on our football team, and they moved me from defensive back to outside linebacker, and he was a middle linebacker. And if you're wondering what any of these position means, I don't know because I wasn't very good at football. And one day they put me with our best middle linebacker, they go head to head and you go and like hit each other.
Oh.
And I looked at him and I was just like, well, I'm ready to die today. Like I'm ready he was just going to hit me so hard that I was going to like lay on the ground, which I did a lot in football. You just get hit so hard. You're like, you just lay on the ground because you get hit so hard.
You
You're
can't
like,
breathe.
CTE's setting in. You just get clobbered, dude. And so I go against him and I go and I didn't know he had just gotten this piercing. And I go and I'm running towards him and I do it like a movie. I close my eyes and I'm just like, Lord, please let me not die. And I close my eyes and I open them and he's on the ground writhing in pain. And I look down at my hands like I'm like, am I a superhero? Because this dude is huge. And he's like, ow, dude, you hit my dick piercing. And our coach was like, why did you get your dick pierced? He's like, I thought it was cool, man. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he got Prince Albert. And
Holy shit.
yeah. And Tina asked you, and I've asked people because I've seen them. I've seen clit piercings. I've seen dick piercings. I don't know if it makes it more sensitive, but it would make me more sensitive, like Tina said. It would make me sensitive that something's going to happen to it.
Right, like you're going to rip it out.
Yeah. But so that's my Prince Albert story. I don't have anything pierced. I don't have any tattoos.
I love that you looked at your hands.
Yeah, I was just I'm like,
did you have blood on your hands? Did I kill him?
my hands are just dicks pierced, and I'm just like, what?
There is something about your act outs that bring me to the floor.
Yeah. You like the Post Malone one a lot, where I'm riding the bull. You and Tina like that one a lot.
I love any of them that you do, but my favorites, he has this bit about driving on the highway and dropping his phone and seeing the highway scenery for the first time.
Oh,
and when you look up and you're like, wow, 6440 is beautiful.
Yeah.
That brings me to the floor.
Thank
also, when you put your hat under your arm
and
Well, I do. He's incredible.
I appreciate it.
And
Go ahead.
That's your improv background, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've talked about this a lot before, but we all came from the improv shop. And I don't think that every stand-up comedian loves shitting on improv, but it's just because they can't do it. And it's because you have to like share time. It's like a shared space. You have to stop talking about like in stand-up, if someone heckles you, you're like, you're an idiot. But if you go on stage and someone's like, I'm a bag of chips, you have to be like, oh, I'm going to eat that chips. I'm like, it's not as fun. It's a little bit more silly, but that's where I like doing that more. And yeah, that's where like, I feel like all of us do. Like every time we're together, we're doing act outs. And when you're in a comedy club, I've actually learned this. My first act out I ever did, a comic came up to me. He's like, hey man, don't do that act out. It's like, he pretty much told me, he was like, it's all about the jokes. And I kind of let that happen. And then later a comic that I love was like, dude, what happened to that act out you used to do? I was like, I stopped doing it. I felt like a real idiot, you know? And he was like, oh, that was my favorite bit. And I told him about that. And he was like, ah, man, that comic told you the wrong thing. And so now I always tell you, like, younger comics or whatever, if like, I'm like, take my advice if you want it. If like someone asks for it, I'll be like, take it if you want it or leave it, because you have to make the decision. And lately I love doing my act outs. Like if it's something I do that makes you or Tina laugh, I'm like, I'm going to do that on stage. And I usually do that. It is like stuff that I do where I'm being silly.
It adds so much to it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's so many comics that they're like, just stick to the bits. But I'm like, how many Brian Regan bits have we seen where he's like that one, my favorite joke?
Over.
Yeah. It's my favorite bit is that one where he was like, whenever I'm like trying to like undo the phone cord for millennials, like when a phone had a cord and he's like, you're trying to like undo it. And they're like, they can put a man on the moon. And that bit's so funny because it's like, it's like if you just told that joke, you're like, when you're trying to undo the cord, you're like, they put a man on the moon, but they can't untangle this. Now it's not funny. Like you have sometimes like that over dramatized silly stuff. I feel like people think it's like kind of silly, but it's my favorite stuff. I feel like it's not mainstream, but I like it. I don't care.
I think it also makes it, I don't know if the right word is visceral, but like you also feel that in your body. Like you can feel somebody like undoing a cord.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that. Yeah.
It brings you more into the experience, I think.
I think so too. And I feel like most of the act outs you do, like if you try an act out, it doesn't work. You almost have to set up the joke so good that when you're doing it, the audience agrees with you. And like I saw Tina one time on stage and she was like doing this bit and she like grabbed the microphone on the stand and like started riding it like a horse to do this bit. And she got off stage and I was like, hey, what was that bit you just did? She goes, oh man, I can't remember. And I was like, I know you comedy blacked out. I was like, you just went up there and just did it and you stopped thinking and then it took over and you just had fun. And she was like, yeah, that was wild. And then she actually blacked out.
I think I love taking advice, but I also sometimes just like have to think like I have to just do what I'm gonna do, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I have to just keep doing do whatever.
I totally agree with that. I think any comic that like I think when someone like I had a guy say this, he's like, don't do that or don't do this, and I'm like, if someone tells you that, they're probably wrong. And if you watch them on the road, you would watch them. Like there was this dude who one time made fun of a comic for like, oh, that guy always takes his shirt off on stage. And like that show went on stage and took his shirt off and we came off, we're like, hey man, what happened to your shirt? He's like, it's pretty funny, right? And I'm like, I guess when you do it. So yeah, I think it adds so much. I think it like adds all of this extra element to just be silly, to just go up there and be silly.
Is what's his name? I can't even.
No, Bert Kreischer. That's the good point. Bert Kreischer doesn't wear a shirt, and he's made a career off of that.
I don't.
So you don't. There's no one. There are no rules. Yeah, I don't. You're definitely a person who like we've chatted, and I'd given you advice, and you're like, I don't think I want that. I'm like, then you should do your own thing.
I never would have said that to you.
No. We're just chatting like friends.
Oh.
You didn't say I don't like that, and then you flipped me off, and you rolled up a window, and we were in the green room. Like, where'd this window come from? Just divided me in the green room.
No, I always value what you have to say because usually you're right. Okay. And you've been in it a long time.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing it for about 10 years. I love doing it. I do think that there is good advice, but I think the one thing you have to do is go with your heart. I think absolutely. And I know that sounds like that sounds corny, but so is stand up. Like stand up isn't like, even we were joking about music, but music has like a form that you can figure out and you can become the best at music. There is no form to comedy. You can watch someone follow the form. They do set up, punchline, set up, and they're like, man, why didn't that work? It's like, because it's felt like you were reading jokes, man. They want to connect with you. And that's where I feel like a lot of the switch is happening too, is it's like, now it's like the content world of like, I want to see what you can make all the time. I don't care if that was a perfect joke. I want to see you go to a fucking McDonald's and make this bit in real life, which is way cooler than what most comics do. Guys are like, hey, I look pretty cool on stage with a microphone. And you're like out in the world where someone could be like, I'm going to hit you with my car. Like you're in the world, like just filming stuff. You're not like, all right, cut. Can we get that boom mic over there? You just pull up your camera and make stuff. Like we were actually in New York and I watched a guy, like he was like making content. You ever see a guy trying to like figure it out, like try to figure out Instagram? He just walks up to us in New York and he's like, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing? We're like walking in New York. He's like, ha, that's crazy, man. New York City. This is a park. And he's just like trying to make stuff and watching people try to figure it out. It's like, that's not what you want to do. You have to do what you want. Advice is good, but take it with a grain of salt, man. People know. That's like, people know what to do. Like no one told like, I don't know, like no one told Prince, like Prince isn't like, yeah, a lot of people told me. Like that's my Prince. He's just like a soft-spoken guy. But like he was great because he did what he wanted to do. Like I watched this thing on him the other day where he was like, he played all the parts. He was like, I'm going to produce this. You're going to do it my way, because you don't listen to other people. If you were to listen to people, we wouldn't have Prince.
We
you know
wouldn't
what I mean?
have Darling Nikki.
Who?
That song, Darling Nikki, that Prince made.
Oh, I don't know that song. I only know the hits. Sorry, I watched it. I only know
that
the
is
hits.
a hit.
I don't know all the hits.
Well, it's a Prince song. I used to listen to it on my record player in about, I don't know, 5th grade, and it made me feel something in my pants that I didn't understand.
What did it make you feel?
Throbbing, maybe?
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop.
That's about it.
Oh, okay.
Just like a pulsating sort of like a. Didn't understand it.
What? Yeah, that's yeah. What do you like? As whenever you first start to get turned on, are you not even realizing what's going on? Because I feel like I wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, what's happening?
Yeah. Is that?
I was telling Tina, I think it was the last one, where the first time I remember feeling that was when I was watching Thornbirds.
Yeah, I heard that. What's the? Is that? You said it's like a show that has like a limited mini series.
It was a mini series, and a priest fell in love with a woman, a child, a girl. Okay, that part's not so good.
That part's the worst part about the Catholic.
See, I was
faith.
I was a child watching this, and I also was in love with priest all the time. So that's why it really hit home with me.
Okay.
There was something about. Oh.
This is it?
Daddy.
The Thornbirds. Oh, okay.
And I don't know.
So and he's the priest. Okay.
He's the priest, and she was the gal.
Who? Okay, and she doesn't look underage. Is she like?
Maybe she wasn't. Maybe I just wanted her to be underage.
Well, no, I'm saying that actress looks like the actress is of age. Is like is it like where those movies where she's like 30, but she's like, I'm 13. Like, is that what so is she? I don't understand this. I don't. You're gonna have to explain this more for me to. So he's a priest and she's a child.
I think she was maybe a teenager.
Okay.
Is there a synopsis that we can look at on there, Randall?
Okay. The last time I heard you talking about
Chamberlain.
The last time I heard you talking about liking sex and stuff like that, you said you just like consensual, straight up sex. And this seems like a child and a priest, and that seems like the most opposite thing.
Well, because I was a child. So I guess that's why I really hit home with me.
Yeah.
I think being abused, I guess I sort of had a what's it called? A kink for abusive situations, maybe?
Okay.
I don't know.
Have you ever talked, like a therapist about that? Or is that just something that is that your guess?
That's my guess.
And what happened? Was it a priest?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Priests weren't interested in me that way.
Me neither. I went to Catholic school.
Damn.
Yeah, we both didn't
What
notice
happened?
either one of us. I don't know. I guess we never served at mass. They're like, he's like an open micer of the Catholic faith. He doesn't take it seriously. He's like, he's not ready to go on the road yet.
So you never were an altar boy?
I did it once, and I guess I did so bad that they never asked me again. Like, everyone in my class would always do it. But maybe they picked, I don't know how it
Maybe
worked.
they picked the really cute one.
Maybe.
But you were a cute one. I saw your baby pictures.
Yeah, I was really cute.
They were really cute.
I was really cute. I had like the flat hair, like up into the, where you basically boys made their hair into hats. They just like one bill over the top of it. Just, yeah. Went to a Catholic school. Did you go to Catholic school?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Did I get to be an altar boy? No.
no. Did you get to sing in the choir? You sound like you sang in the choir.
I would not. I didn't start actually singing in front of people until probably about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Too scared.
Why?
Too scared. Scared of everything.
I'm scared. I'm scared to sing. That's probably the only thing I'm actually scared to do.
Really?
I would never. I sing at home, and I'm always practicing. And I actually started videotaping myself and like listening the other day, and was like, "This guy sucks." Yeah, I hate. I'll sing in my car with music, but I can't. I would never. Acapella singing is the most would make me more nervous than anything in the world.
Really?
Absolutely. You're a good singer. I'm not. Like I have to like jokingly sing, but anytime like I'll try. Like someone's like, "Dude, just sing from your heart," and I did, and I think everyone was like, "Wow, that is a bad heart he has." That is a pretty bad heart. Oh. Anyway, where were we before? Okay, before the Thornburns.
I want to watch these tapes.
Yeah. What was the did you ask me a question? I forgot what we were
Gave us
talking
the
about.
fucking light.
What's the light? Oh, we
The
got
light.
Let's wrap this up. Have we started yet?
No.
Let's start this podcast. Let's get this podcast started. I'm ready to stop gabbing and just go into it.
Kitteens said, "Not a question, just happy to hear the Bone Man is filling in."
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Oh, another not a question. He is so cute and hilarious.
Okay. Thank you, but
I love the Just Woke Up podcast.
they love it. Thank you. Thank you. I just woke up and it is a podcast.
It's a great podcast. You can view it on his Instagram stories.
I get people messaging me all the time. They're like, "Where's that podcast?" And I'm like, I can't believe I made a joke that they're like, "I can't find the content." I'm like, there is no content. Everything about it's a joke. If you don't know, it's called the I Just Woke Up podcast, and it's redundant, and it's also not a podcast, but I just make an Instagram story. I'm like, "Hey, I just woke up today on the podcast is my cat. Hey, what's up?" And I just start filming it, and it's just to make content, and it just makes me laugh, and it's literally the thing people love the most. Like, I've definitely made videos where I'm like, people are going to like this. 2 likes.
You
started doing that.
should put him in highlights then.
I did. I actually started.
did?
If you go
Good.
there, I have all the best bangers.
Not
right
all
in
the best.
highlights.
You should put them all in there.
I will. I'll put them all in there. I thought it was the highlights, not the high alls.
Danny Callie wanted to know, did you borrow that sweater from Kenny or Randy?
Which sweater?
This sweater.
Let me see. Oh, that is a Randy sweater. Yeah, I probably borrowed that for Randy. We both can pull off the snug sweater. We're both thinner dudes.
And this one is my favorite.
This is awesome.
Whose pussy stinks the most, me or Tina?
The only question that matters. I have been down on both of them as simultaneously as one could. That was where the idea of Slop City actually came, as I was going down, and it was so sloppy. They're like, you could put a whole city down there and start a population with how sloppy it is down there. And both of you asked me at the same time, you go, which one has the stinkier pussy? And I said, I do. I said, and you guys smelt my pussy, and you're like, wow, that thing stinks worse than both of yours combined. That's the best question, and I guess I would have to say, because I'm in love with Libby, and Tina's spoken for it, Tina's got the stinkier pussy, and she's not here to defend herself. She's got one stinky pussy. That thing smokes cigarettes, dude. That thing.
Can you see her pussy lips like...
Hey, these are menthol. I don't like these ones. I only smoke American spirits. You see it go like this. It also has dip. Her pussy also has dip in.
Holy shit.
And pussy's like, I've never been off my period. It just started, and it just kind of keeps riding.
Oh my God, her pussy's
I feel
blowing
bad saying that
rings.
because I know there's a part of Tina that's like, ha, come on, guys. It's like a pretty pussy.
I'm sure it is.
Oh,
Sure it doesn't look like mine.
yeah. That picture of Jack Nicholson blowing smoke rings has to be as close as you can get to Tina's pussy blowing smoke rings. They're like, hey, do you have the Nuva ring? And she's like,
Just thinking about any pussy
yeah.
smoking with dip is just ridiculous.
Hilarious. When I was a kid, everyone always talked about like there's like this video you could see where a girl's doing that, and I've never looked it up because when you're a kid, you're interested. Is there, Randy? Does that video exist?
I thought about looking it up, but dude, my Google searches are already a bit fucked up.
Yeah,
The door's gonna like just barge it. Boom. What are you looking up here? You're looking at priests and kids and
he looks up weird shit.
Yeah. All right. You don't have to look it up, but dang mango.
Somebody said, "Where can I obtain happiness to smile like that?"
Oh man,
You do have a good smile.
thank you. I do love my own. I think I have a good smile. I will say most of it's real, and then the times that I don't feel good, you've been around me. I force it out of myself, and it's not fake. I've had people call it out. They're like, "I think you're being fake," and I'm like, "No." There's a little kid that I know who said this. He's like, "I'm just choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to not be angry." And like the times that I feel bad, I just remind myself that it could be so much worse. So I just always choose to be like smiling. Like even my girlfriend, she's like, "You're just really happy," and I'm like, I try to be this way because there could be so many worse things that it could happen. Like even when me and you we'll talk about stuff and we'll have these like moments, and I feel like I'm always like trying to see the good out of it. Like I'm actually pretty much a pessimistic person. I'm not saying that to sound like I'm deep, bro. I'm also sad, but I'm like I really do feel pessimistic. But if we all act and be more optimistic, maybe the tides can change. Because I feel like there's a lot of sadness going on in the world right now. When I find myself getting bummed out or upset or anything like that, I just try to choose to be happy. And it doesn't always work. And the older I get, I feel like that smile fading, but I try to smile as often as I can. This sounds so fucking lame. Like just talk about it. I do think I have a good smile, and I smile. And I try to show it to the world as often as I can.
You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you so much.
I love when your mouth is on my pussy.
I love it being down there. You're always like, smile while you're down there.
I can't breathe.
Ah!
I love your girlfriend, Danielle.
I absolutely love her too. She's cheating on me somewhere right now. We should probably call her.
Cool.
Yeah, she's always out cheating on me.
Probably working.
Yeah, I always say that too. People are like, "Where's Danielle?" I'm like, "She's out cheating on me." Everyone's like, "What?" I'm like, "She just works. She has a job." No, Danielle's the sweetest. I've never been with someone this long. I've never liked someone. She's also the only person that I've met that understands comedy. Like, literally says things funnier than me all the time. It bothers me when I'll say like, "Oh, isn't this funny?" And she'll say something. I'm like, "You just added a tag to my joke." And she's like, "I was just talking." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying." That's the difference. So she's really sweet. She writes a lot. She goes on the road with me. Like I did a show in Huntsville, Alabama, and we had to drive back that night, and she had to work the next day. And I drove the first part and she slept. And after the show, she drove back home. We stopped in Nashville to sleep for a little bit, but she drove me home. She's the sweetest. She gets comedy. Like she goes to shows. Like after a show, she'll be like, "Why did that guy do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. Wasn't that stupid?" She's like, "Yeah, I thought it was a dumb bit." And I'm like, "Wouldn't it be funnier if she said this?" And I'm like, "Yes, why don't you do comedy?" She's like, "Because I don't want to." But yeah, she's definitely the best person. She's my best friend. I love her.
And she smells good.
She smells so good.
She always smells good.
There's a buddy of hers that we went out west and we stopped and see him in like Salt Lake City, something like that. So I don't remember where we were at. But we stop and see this guy, and he goes towards her, and he gets pre-COVID, and he goes and he gives her a hug, and she's just this short, and he goes, and he starts smelling her like really hard, and I thought he's like gonna do a bit, and he just like lets go over. He goes, "Man, she smells good," and I was like, "Yeah, she does." Was that weird, or was that like, do people just smell people in Utah? Like, yeah, but yeah, I totally agree. I think she actually smells like she's like. Smells good because I've definitely dated girls to where it's all perfume, like they like to spray it on there, but she has like a natural.
I don't know
smell.
what it is, but she always smells good.
She smells in mint condition.
Never a hint of any kind of pussy smell.
No,
or maybe that is the smell I'm smelling, and it's just a good pussy. Smell.
There's just like there's just butterflies down there.
Is that how pussy's supposed to smell? Maybe I don't know.
It smells grand.
Got a little bit of gangrene going on. Your face.
Oh, just like going down and a guy being like, "Hey, I really wanted to keep going down on you, but there's some gangrene down here."
Pussy window.
You know your pussy's bad when you need Oragel down there. Just make it stop stinging.
A pussy window.
Was was that?
That's me when I was a kid reading a book. And the word was pussy willow, and I couldn't get it. A pussy window.
Please play that again.
Pussy window.
Ah! That's so scary. That sounds like whenever they find a video and they slow it down, they play it and like, that was Satan. Like it's like in a scary movie, like we found the entity. Pussy willow. Who's haunting my house? It's little Libby Higgins.
Pussy window.
Oh.
Like I always thought I was a good reader until I listened back to these tapes. I'm like, I was a fucking idiot.
Why do you have these tapes of you reading?
Well, I'm older, so when we recorded ourselves as youngins, we recorded on a tape recorder. Yeah. Like we'd sing or read books or whatever.
Yeah.
You guys have camcorders. Well, we didn't have those readily available.
Yeah, totally. But I don't have it yet. Okay.
So I have these tapes and I sometimes listen to them. Is there the other part to it?
Yeah.
Smith has little flower pots on the windowsill. Let's go see what's here. A pussy window.
Oh, you gotta play the whole thing. That's so cute.
Pussy willow flower. Growing in a flower pot. A carrot is...
Oh my God, Libby, that was so cute. That was so fucking cute. Just the pussy was. Pussy willow. Yeah, that part's scary.
That's
pussy.
That's before I knew, I guess, what a pussy was because I would have started laughing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
A pussy window. A pussy window.
Oh man, you have such a cute little voice. I could just picture little Libby. Do you have a video of you when you were a kid? Can you do a face swap of your face now on your little pussy willow?
I should do like a TikTok and have the vocals, but then do a Snapchat of the kid face.
Yes, yeah.
A pussy window.
The kid face is the funniest. I don't know why everyone with their little fucking kid face. Yeah, that really almost made me melt. That was beautiful. I liked hearing
Miss Smith. And it's a little bit of a country accent.
You were a better reader as a kid than I was as an adult. I actually read because I went to Catholic school and I had to do where you had to do, what's that thing called where you have to
communion?
No, not communion. It's like, I know you're, where you. Confirmation. And when you get confirmed, where they're like, which is weird. They're like, you're in the church, but then they're like, dude, for real, you're in the church. You're confirmed. You're like, dude, it's real. You're as deep in as you could be. But when you get confirmed, you have to do some community service. So one point I had a day where you'd go out and you'd help a bunch of kids at a school, or then you'd go to help special needs kids. You do all these things, but one time they're like, hey Bobby, you only have an hour left, so if you want you can just stay after and read these books for kids. So I read books on tape. I don't know if anyone knows where those books are, but I was so bad at reading that they were like, we're not going to use these. It wasn't even an audition where they're like, well, we won't even tell you if you did it or not. I recorded it. It was like, yeah, can you read, dude? Dude, I'm so bad at reading out loud. I had to practice with Danielle. I literally I can't sing or read out loud. I get really, really nervous. So they were just like, oh wow, we'll give you the last hour, but we're not going to let kids think this is what reading sounds like.
We're going to have one of the kids actually read it. Or the first graders.
The pussy willow.
What was your confirmation name? Do you remember?
Oh no, I even forgot we got one. I probably made it St. Anthony because I think that's my great grandpa's name.
Oh, that's
so I probably
nice one.
did it something like that. Kept it in the family.
That's a nice confirmation name.
It really is. But you only get to choose a saint. You can't be like Lil Yeezy, or you can't be it can't be a cool name. You can't be like, what's up? I'm Lil Tony. It can't.
I was Sabina.
Sabina?
Saint Sabina.
What is Saint Sabina?
I don't know.
I
regret.
Just sounds cool.
I think because I was anxious and they asked me, I was like, oh, just this one, which is the same as in high school when you had to pick Spanish names. I picked Diana. In Spanish class.
No, we did not. You just have your name.
When we were in Spanish class, we got to pick a Spanish.
That's very interesting.
So I was nervous because I was in high school and I was scared. So I was just like, Diana, which is the word. I don't want that name.
No,
I would have picked something like Carmen or
but
Paco, Rafael.
Bobby.
Roberto.
Me llamo Bobby. That's how I couldn't like put any, I couldn't like really roll my R's very well. Like I can just do the R's, but I couldn't put them into words. So when I had Spanish, I was like, me llamo Bobby. Mi gato es loco.
Mi gato está en el baño.
Yeah, I hated Spanish. I never learned Spanish because when I came in, like the teacher was like, "Ay, everybody," and she's like, "I will not speak English from this point forward." And I'm like, "Oh, that's how you learn." So the only things I can say is "Me llamo Bobby" and "Mi gato es loco."
So after the first day when she stopped speaking English, you didn't get
It was the only class I ever cheated in. I could never cheat, and it was the only class that I ever had to cheat because I did not know I could not do Spanish.
Well, she provided you with a disservice then.
She definitely did. I bet there was like and the German teacher was very excited. Like when people were coming in, she was like the teacher would like give every kid a high five. Like ours was like the one like she's like, "You're late." I'm like, "What?" But she said it in Spanish. "You're late.
You're late.
You're late." But it's dubbed at the bottom. She dubs at the bottom. I'm like, "Thank you." Where's the subtitles for this class? Worst teacher.
Oh, did you go to Catholic high school also?
No.
Okay.
I actually didn't even go. I only had like 60 kids in my entire grade, and then I went to public school, which going from Catholic school to public school is one of the scariest things that can happen to a human being. Because you go to where like all these standards are higher, everyone's doing this, and then like my first day in 6th grade, like I saw a dude and he was like, just like sold weed to another kid, and I was like, dude, a kid brought a cigarette to school, and that kid got expelled. Like, I saw like this. I was like, Miss Teacher. Like, it was
Are
crazy.
you saying you were a snitch?
I was absolutely a snitch. I snitched on one of my friends in school, not for anything drug related, but like if someone was like, "Hey man, can I like look at your stuff?" And I was like, no, absolutely not. So I never let anyone cheat. But then you go to public school and everyone beats you down. So eventually, like I had a kid who called me one time and he goes, "What's the math answers?" And I go, "Hold on, Justin." And I'm like going through, and then he added insult to injury. He literally goes, "What are you watching right now?" And I go, "Nothing." He goes, "Be honest." And I go, "Arthur." And he's like, "It's okay, me too." I would watch Arthur every day after school.
Have you reconnected with this guy?
I have. I've talked with him a couple times. Yeah.
Does he know that he bullied you?
He definitely bullied me, but he definitely wasn't a bully, if that makes sense. Like there was little things he would do, but even when he would call me, he was like, he wouldn't do that at school. Like he wasn't like, he would just call me and be like, "Bobby, you know you're going to give me the math answers because we're friends." And I'm like, "Nah, I want you to learn." He's like, "I don't care about learning." I'm like, "All right, but next time, right, you'll learn them, won't you?"
That guy was forward thinking.
Yeah. I had another, my buddy Dylan, I was just in his wedding. Yeah. He was the first kid. The first kid who was like, "Can I cheat off you?" And I was like, "Dude," he took it and I felt like I was in the middle of a heist movie. I was like, "She's coming back, man. She's coming back." He's like nonchalantly doing, I'm like, "Hurry up, man." Yeah. I was a goody two shoes for sure.
Can you imagine me trying to cheat back then?
No.
No.
Absolutely. We would have both been like sitting in class together.
They're
Be like,
cheating.
yeah. We'd have like told on everybody, like after class, "Oh, we got to tie our shoes." They're dating. She's like, "I don't need to know everything." I just like, they're actually together. They just broke up. We're like, "No, we don't need to know facts. We need to know about grades." Anyways.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
I only had one question. Someone only gave me one question on there. It was Andy from the Improv shop. Not that Andy, a different Andy.
Yeah?
And he asked the same thing. He said, "How are you so handsome?"
Oh.
And I say, it's because when I go down on Libby, there's so many moisturizing lotions down there that it keeps this looking fresh.
You're actually 87 years old, aren't you?
I am, 87 years old and still ticking on that pussy down there.
Still ticking.
Yum.
And still licking. Am I right, guys?
I'm still ticking and I'm still licking and I'm still here. It's so weird. I'm still ticking and I'm still licking. That is what I'm going to say forever. I love that.
Making
Thank you,
me
Libby.
fucking horny as shit. Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, I guess it's time to go. It went by too fast.
I would say so, too. I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me on.
We
love
should
you.
do 2-hour podcast.
I'm down. I just looked at Randy and he
He went like this.
He just smashed all of his computers.
Fucking punched it.
I don't want to do this. No, that one. That one's done. That one's done. Just like that. Pull the curtains down. Get this out of my face.
And we're just sitting here like, what the fuck? He breaks all the guitars.
Yeah. Those aren't even part of the show. Those are your shows.
Well,
Oh.
I appreciate you, and I know Tina appreciates you coming in here and spreading joy and spreading my lips apart and just giving them a good. Blah, 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 blah.
Can we go down? Can we go down on out? Can we go out on being? Can we go out on going down on on each other? We'll do with those sounds, like what it would sound like
yeah.
if we were going down on each other. It's like if we were 69ing.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
All right, and go. Pushy window. Wait, what was that one?
That was just to kind of blow out some steam, just to kind of breathe out. Black smoke comes out like it's a train. Cooch.
Oh, Bobby, I love you. Thank you for coming.
Love you, Libby. Thank you for having me on. I love you too, Randy.
And my head hurts from laughing. And cut.
What an uppy! Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Amazing.
That was the best. That was so much fun.